Welcome to Hoops Week 2023 in Lone Star Conference Basketball Media Days. I'm Jack Connolly and I'm joined by St. Edward's head women's basketball coach J.J. Riehl and senior guard Ronnie Cantu. Coach, you told me last week that this is the most excited you've been about a team since the 16-17 season. What have you seen so far that excites you about this group?
I think, the basketball stuff is still early, so I think it's more their energy, their love for each other, their love for our process and our journey. I think it's all of those things that is really tough for the outside eye to see. They're just a really fun group to be around. Their intentionalness and their investment in what it is that we're trying to do has been off the charts, and I think that just breeds energy and excitement.
You're bringing 3 of your 5 starters back and over 60% of the total minutes from last season. What do you like about your returning core?
Well, that's a loaded question. What I like most about them is their hearts. How they have embraced what it is that we're trying to do, and I think this started back last April. How they worked all summer long, not just on their trait or on their physical conditioning, but how they worked on their relationships and the things off the court that we knew we needed to grow and get better at. There's so much to love about them. Obviously, their experience, the fact that we went through a real grind at the end of the season last year to figure out how to make a push and make the conference tournament, and have that experience and what that feels like. Obviously, those are things that unless you've been through it, you don't know what you don't know. And so the fact that they've been through that and they understand the ups and downs and they understand what it's going to take to get us to where we want to go, I think those are the things that you can't really measure.
On the other hand, entering year 5 in the Lone Star Conference, in order to compete in this league, how big is it to reload every single year?
I think it's really important, but I think the things that are the most important for us is staying true to who we are and our culture. And so I think we always fall back on that. And I think in the reloading process or in the figuring out who's going to come into that mixed process, I think the number one thing is making sure that those individuals are going to fit our culture and that it's going to be a seamless transition. And I will say from returners to incoming kids, from 1 to 14, that's been the most pleasing thing about this group. There has been a seamless transition, returners accepting and incoming people understanding the challenge and the mission, and that's been for me the most fun thing to watch the last 8 weeks.
You got your leading minutes leader from last season with you, Ronnie Cantu. What has it been like to see her growth from her freshman year to now?
That another killer question. I don't think I say to them all the time, comparison is the thief of joy. So I think you have to be careful comparing and talking growth. But I think just her growth, her acceptance of I wouldn't even say role, her place on this team, her acceptance of the culture. What do they call McConaughey down there at UT? He's the minister of culture. I think Ronnie is kind of our minister of culture. And I don't think that's just for us as the women's basketball program. I think Ronnie has accepted her role. And she's kind of like the minister of culture for our athletic department. I mean, and she carries that and she understands that. And it's a lot, it's a lot. And then to balance that with when we come on the court and owning her leadership role on the court and making sure that everyone's okay and everyone's where they need to be and everyone's doing their job. And then, the weight of like feeling like she can never mess up and she has to make every shot. And she has really, I think it just speaks to her character. She's filled into that and she's become that person. And she's done a great job doing it. And I'm thrilled that Ronnie is back. I don't know that my job is going to be a lot of fun when Ronnie's not back. So just excited to see where she's going to go from last year to this year. What strides are we going to make? how is she going to be impactful in ways this year that she wasn't last year, and just making sure that she individually is always raising that bar, and that in doing so, she's helping our team raise that bar.
Speaking of last year, Ronnie, you made huge strides as a basketball player, becoming a full-time starter for the first time in your career. You became a leader in the locker room, and like Coach said, off the court as well. What does the next step in your development look like?
Yeah, I mean, last year was it was the opportunity of a lifetime, just being able to take up this leadership role and this starting role. It was a part in my career that I never thought that I'd get to, but I did get to it. And at that point, it's just not settling for less, and understanding that even though the stride was made and the growth was made, it's not stopping there, and seeing what else I can do for this team going into my senior year. And I think the biggest thing for myself is, just like JJ always says, is staying true to my authentic being, but also just carrying this leadership, this captain sense within me, and understanding that it's not so much a rebuilding year, but we are bringing incoming freshmen, transfers onto the team, and it's just stabilizing and keeping, like JJ says, this culture throughout the year, and understanding who we are and what we can do and our capabilities. And I think that can go a long way with this team. I'm so optimistic about this year and what we can do, and our talent and our athleticism, and just everything that everybody on this team is bringing to the table. And at the end of the day, that's going to bring out my true authentic self, and that I'm excited for.
The coaches are pumped about this team too. How does going into this year feel different than last season?
Yeah, I mean, sometimes I feel like JJ doesn't realize how important our coaches are to our program. She loves to say that a player-led team is stronger than a coach-led team, but JJ and Key and Woo have just as much an impact on this team as 1 through 14 do, and they're never not going to have the playbook ready for us and the plan set for us. It's always going to go above and beyond, and they're going to give us everything that we need and everything that we need to do. And at the end of the day, all you can do is take that and do something with it. And so that's when we come into play, and that's when we need to understand what we need to do as a team, and how we need to come together and grow this chemistry for the sake of our coaches and everything that they've taught us along the way and through preseason, and just bringing them along for the ride, and then showing them what we can do.
You said this is not a rebuilding year. What is the mentality of this team?
The mentality of this team is it's a no regret year. Coming in and this being my senior year, it comes with a lot of emotion and a lot of just understanding that this is my last year in a sense, and so it's putting everything out on the floor. And I think in a way that goes from 1 to 14, starting from the freshmen, going up to the seniors, going up to our grad student. I mean, I feel like we're all in a mental space where, even if some people know that they're coming back, some people know that they're leaving after this year, it's understanding that, there's no space for no regrets. There's no space for settling for less. Right now, settling for less is the conference tournament. We want a ring on our finger. We want to go to the Natty. That is the goal, and that's always been the goal. And the beauty of this team this year is that, that is on everybody's mind, and that is the ultimate goal at the end of the year, and that is truly exciting. And I just really want to piggyback on JJ, just really being excited and really just talking about the capabilities of this team compared to the year that Key and Woo brought home a ring and a conference championship. And I feel like this team is nothing short of doing the exact same thing and more.
It's a no regret year for the Hilltoppers, and they get going on November 11th in the Lone Star Conference RMAC Challenge in Golden, Colorado at 11 a.m. Mountain Time against Regis.
Boom.
Y'all killed it.
Wow.